Yo, this is Pepouni from Swissbeatbox and you're watching Beatbox Nacional Área. Right now, at the moment, I'm 30 years old. I started beatbox in 2001. I saw Razel on MTV in an advertisement and I didn't know for a long time that this was actually beatboxing, what he was doing. I thought they were playing music until a friend told me a couple months later, oh, this ad where you can see Razel. I was like, who's Razel? Like, the guy that is doing the music with the mouth. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. When I was more of an active beatboxer, which I'm right now not so much anymore because my job is very different, but still I was very much in love with beatbox in the early 2000s, and I really was in love with Razel, Killa Kela, and probably Faith SFX. These were like having a lot of influence on me to like push me forward, practice, give me like the confidence that there can be future with beatboxing. I was like in the mood of getting to the point to say like, okay, what they are doing, I want to be able to do as well. So I love them. Also Kenny Mohammed, other old school beatboxers, I just love that. And then like this period started where a lot of other kids, I was like 13, 14, 15 years old, where a lot of them started to beatbox as well, and then some of these major talents appeared like Roxaloop, CD, Reeps, and they started then to have an influence on me. But in the very early stage, Razel, Killa Kela, Kenny Mohammed, Faith SFX, they really blew my mind. One of the main reasons why I actually wanted to beatbox is because I thought it was really cool and everybody can do it. I don't need to get a special skill, or I need I need a special skill to beatbox, but I need a tool for it, like an instrument where you need to have a guitar, for example, or a specific sport where you need to go to your club or your association that you are part of. It's like something you can do any place, anytime. And I thought that was pretty comfortable. And since not many people did it, and it was like something that excites everybody because you make noises with your mouth. And yeah, it's just so mind-blowing. I thought like, I'm going to be the cool kid on the block. And I actually became the cool kid on the block. And me and some of my friends, we were trying to beatbox in 2001, 2002, 2003. We just tried to be the cool kids, like doing this kind of stuff. And I would say just by doing that all the time, the interest gained, you know, and I wanted to see what are the options, what is possible to do with your mouth. And just by alone doing these beats and fooling around with the sound, somehow it became better. I did some vocal scratching out of nowhere. My sounds became a little bit more clearer. I was more experimenting. I did bass lines. Of course, I was listening to people like Killa Kela that like blew my mind so much. I was like hearing them, these guys, doing all the time new beats. And I just then thought like, okay, if they do it, I should go for something new as well. So one part was like try to imitate them, the other part was like try to experiment just with my friends all the time or discuss what we've learned new. Oh, this guy just learned this sound. Oh, did you see this new video of Killa Kela? He did this beat in there, that's pretty cool. I think the sound goes like this, and then I discovered this sound through that. And yeah, then like after doing it for a while just for fun and try to be the cool kid, over the years it became like something very serious, something I would say that it became a part of me. And I decided for myself, oh, tomorrow in the afternoon I'm going to stay at home and I want to practice from 2 to 4 p.m. I'm going to practice on something. And I started practicing, learning techniques, and yeah, obviously through time can being very certain about what you do and showing empathy to myself, I believe that I managed to level up a little bit, and I still wish I could do it, but what really left a mark on me was like working on individual sounds. I never was that good in putting the sounds together and rhythmically, but I was very good just practicing sounds, so I can tell I have a nice PF snare, and I haven't trained that for more than 10 years, but back in the days I practiced that a lot. And the click roll, for example, these are things that I'd love to do so much. I made some mistakes, and this is an advice for everybody. Work on your individual sounds is one, but try to put them also together into techniques, and there are meanwhile a lot of good tutorials and beatboxers all around the world doing tutorials explaining that. Follow LM, for example, or go to workshops locally and get tips from your teachers how you can do that. Or Gene Shinozaki is somebody, I would follow that guy, or even hit him up, he has always good advices. And this is something, if I'm thinking back, if I could do it better or change it, it would be something I'd love to do. And then I practiced, I tried to become very good, I even went to battles, so I was motivated to measure myself with others. But then, Swissbeatbox started, and I kind of like stopped beatboxing more, and I these days would like to give beatboxers a platform to present themselves and their skills, and for me it's the turn to hold myself back, and it's also a reason why I don't practice that much anymore, because it takes away all my time. Well, myself, I joined only 2 battles in my life. So once the Swiss Champs, where I made it to top 8, and once GBB, where I didn't pass eliminations. It was nice to be selected in the top 8. That was for me a good feeling, but it doesn't really matter that much. For me, a bigger impact had the World Beatbox Championships in 2009. It's almost 10 years from the point where we are right now that this event happened. It happened in end of May 2009, and it was for me still by now the best event that I ever attended. All the big players of our community, not all, but a lot of them that are like really big or made a big fat career with beatboxing, all of them came to this event. I'm speaking of Skiller, Reeps, Marcus, Bachtan, Zidi, this kind of generation. They were all there. They kind of like met officially for the very first time. A big amount of beatboxers. For me, it was very, very touching. Meet Korean Fex and just all these guys. I meet them, and for them it felt the exact same for them. And I felt that energy so strong. I knew something big is gonna happen here with beatboxing, and this is my market to be involved in. This is my chance to have a happy life. I really felt this is not just like a gimmick or a joke or something that I will leave again after a couple of years and that I will go and do something else. I knew it really burned into my soul and into my heart so strong that this is going to be my thing. I'm so in love with beatboxing, and everybody here from all around the world is so in love with beatboxing. Some years later asked myself, does beatbox actually have a chance? Is it sustainable? But there I was so high of all these crazy emotions that I had. I knew it. There will be so many more beatboxers from all around the world that will always come together, and we're gonna have such a good time. I mean, we did have already a couple of more generations of people that joined us. And for me, I think this whole thing was like a big amount of energy that got injected into a lot of people that then all went home after this event to spread the word of beatboxing in their countries, doing championships, or had just this feeling of confirmation that I had. And since then, almost 10 years ago, we met hundreds of times. Some people live together, Some people meet every week, some people have events all the time. It's crazy. It's literally crazy what is happening. And I'm proud of that this event happened. It happened from Bilo. I need to say that Bilo is one of the best person that I met. Is like a mentor for me that like opened. I'm very grateful to him that he opened this door for me. To be honest, I don't know if Bilo knows that, what he did back in the day as well. What kind of like, yeah, energy he let free with this event. And I know he did already another World Champs, part of something else, but this was like the first real World Champs. That was his event, where everybody came in. And if I'm talking to people these days and I say like, hey, what was your favorite event? And I remember I asked Fire Brass, he said, oh yeah, 2009 World Champs was the best. I know he got the World Champs there, but he knows we share these emotions all together. And this is thanks to Bilo, so respect to this guy. Really, in that day, and I spoke with other beatboxers too. In that day, I would have done everything for Bilo. Such a legend. Good guy. Really good guy. I honor this man a lot. I'm very grateful. I kind of like owe him my life for that, and all the beatboxers in the world as well. So this event really was changing everything. And then there were a lot of other wonderful events that we had. The first La Cup 2013, the team event that was very nice of Kim organizing this. A lot of work alongside with his team, with Mike Spawn. That was a big pleasure. That was a game changer too, where we had this new format, not always the classical battles. I think this is something that really increased the attention worldwide, and I can tell that I'm very proud of it. That Kim was thinking of me to have me there, and as a judge, it was my first time I was judging an event. I did a lot of judging meanwhile. I don't know how many times. Maybe 100 battles I judged? I don't know. I really don't know, but it was also one of the first bigger events that Swissbeatbox did, and I'm proud of it. I'm feeling honored that I was able with my team to go there and produce this event and give for the first time something back to the international community that made people strongly happy event-wise. And yeah, besides all the battles that are crazy that we've seen so far, I'm also very proud of my first events that I did. These were 2 conventions where people meet not for battling, but they came just to make showcases and perform. 2009 in St. Gallen in my city, and then 2010 in Zurich, the Beatbox Showdown. And the flyer, I remember when Bilo called me and said, wow, that flyer blew my mind. That's crazy what kind of lineup you have. It was crazy. These kind of events for me changed everything. It really had a strong impact on my life. I wish I could do events like this again, not just battles. We deserve to have also conventions and meetups, which I hope is gonna happen. And of course, every event that you go is somehow special, and there's always a sweet memory that you bring back home. But I would say the early stage of my career kind of like left a bigger mark on me, and this fuel and this energy that I have from these events, they are still inside of me. And yeah, I bring this energy alongside with me to wherever I go, and I like to spread that happiness and this joy that I have. And every event always gives me some sparks, because every country that you visit, every battle that happens, somehow has a good energy, somehow you make good friends, somehow we are all the same, we speak the same language, and all of them are very beautiful. And I can't wait for many more in the future to go to. Yeah, when I started beatboxing, obviously there was not really a scene, it did not exist. I think Bilo was the first one that did a national championship, 2002 and 2003. It's just where it started to have a nationals, and I saw that obviously. that's all though that I saw. I saw humanbeatbox.com showed what was back in the days beatboxing. I know Kila Kela was touring, so I saw actually some people are kind of like active in there making money. Personally, I've never thought that I'm going to be that involved until like the stories happened, like when I went to the World Champs and started my own events, and I really got convinced by it. But I never really thought about that, because when I started, YouTube or all these platforms didn't exist. I saw videos on other platforms, on other websites, on forums, and all this vlogging and social media marketing, all of that did not exist. So for me it was just pure passion towards the art, doing the beatbox, not thinking about anything else. I was 13, my parents told me I have to go to university, get a job, and that's what I did. I went to university, but then my job became beatboxing. But that just happened many years later that I got convinced. I was never thinking that I would see a chance or that there will be a market for beatboxers, but now I'm probably the most driven person in the world to make sure that people actually can have a real career out of it, and I want that. So at some point in my life it just clicked, where I realized, okay, this is actually something we can do stronger, and we can be very lucky to have the modern technology, very smart geniuses, smart heads that came up with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and that we are so well connected right now, because right now it's very easy for us to influence each other. We're just watching videos every day, we just go on our phone, we are looking at our attention needs to be satisfied real quick. So if you're interested in something like beatboxing, you can do it very strong, you can see what other people are doing. If they can do it, you can do it, and you can set new standards. And back in the day, there was no option for that, so I was like never thinking about that at all. Like for me it was just like, I want to become a good beatboxer, but make a living out of that, performing, go on tour, all these kind of things, that was just like far away, even just thinking about that. But then yeah, there was this moment, it just clicked, and I was like, let's go for it and see where we are right now. We have communities all around the world, a lot of people can live from it, and I believe if you want to live from beatboxing, you can do it. You gotta work hard, like for anything in life, but you can get influenced, you can influence others, you can make it. If you try, maybe it works out. If you want it and if you have the discipline, no problem, you can do it. I can give just some general examples for that. But yeah, some beatboxers, they work up to 8 hours. Like when Skiller 2012 won the World Champs, a couple of months before the battle, he practiced 8 hours on the microphone a day in the studio. Collapse was somebody that worked 8 hours a day. I think he still does a lot of hours, but maybe not that much. So people work very hard. I think 8 hours is very crazy, but if I'm looking at musicians, jazz musicians for example, these guys are working all their life. Some of them are in their 70s now. They started playing when they were 5-6 years old, and they practice more than 10 hours still every day. And I've never seen that. I've never came across somebody that does something crazy like this. I want to meet a beatboxer that practices more than 10 hours every day. Somebody that really tries to go for the next level. And I see it's possible in the music. So why is it not possible also in beatboxing, which is music as well? I would love to see that. There's people that really work hard, train hard, but give up too fast. I think there's people, they do it for a while, but they do it just for a couple of years, but this should be something you do all your life long. And I believe you can do it. Best example in the jazz community. You take these guys like David Lippman, he tours 100 days a year. He has maybe 2 weeks of holidays, the rest of the time he works and practice every day. Morning sessions, afternoon sessions, evening sessions. And yeah, I think in beatboxing we still, maybe it exists, but we need that more. I want to see stronger beatboxing. I want to see a whole new level. Somebody that really drives over everything. It's difficult to give advices like that. But I want to say one more thing to answer these questions. What we also have seen more in the last 5-6 years is beatboxers coming from music schools. Best example for that is Gene Shinozaki, who studied at Berkeley. He was a drummer, or Alim was a drummer. He comes from a musical family. These people studied music, right? And they then discover beatbox and have their musical knowledge and take it into beatboxing. You can strongly feel that. Or Chris Solis is somebody like that. He's actually a music teacher, and I believe this could be a good advice for everybody. Or also the beatboxer Maddox, he tries to study music, learns notes, plays the keyboard, not piano, but he plays a keyboard and tries to find out new melodies and then transfers that into beatboxing and creates songs through that. And I believe this is a very nice way to do original things in beatbox. So music is nice. Or Gene Shinozaki inspired the beatboxer Big Man from South Korea that wants to go to Berkeley University too now to study music. I believe that is a really good thing to do. A really good thing to do. Study music, have some musical knowledge and bring that into beatboxing. That brings always fresh energy, good colors of like different styles that are possible. Yeah, I have seen here some beautiful things in Brazil. You have a nice team that works very hard and works obviously on a great infrastructure, what actually helps to make a great community and can bring out a lot of strong individual beatboxers. It is going to be a lot of meetings, which happens. You have Bell number 55 just this weekend, which is crazy for Beachmasters. That's amazing. I hope you're gonna bring it to Europe and other places. Why not? Could be cool. You have workshops twice a week, so you give people the chance to enter the scene. You do this Beachmaster events on the streets, that's important. Parks are nice as well, so the public knows more about what is beatboxing. People need to know what that is, the art, right? People need to know about beatboxing, so people can watch or join if they're interested. You do that. What I still think needs more to happen probably is that beatboxers meet as friends at these events and beside these events. And then the stronger bonds are happening. I want to see tag teams, I want to see people using loop stations, I want to see people even spend so much time together that they actually start living together. Like the Beatbox House, or in Austria, Slither and Swish and Georgie, they live together. I want to see something like this, you know, and then you just beatbox all the time, and this is how you level up. Quick, real quick. But you are already on the right way. I hope you can transfer all of that into your whole country and all the other states that are important for the community. That really everybody is involved in beatboxing, feels good, and that you meet at least once or twice as a big group, as the whole country together. You have a national championship or just a meeting, whatever it's gonna be like. This is like key. Meet together, build friendship, beatbox together, you level up quicker. And I hope you're gonna do that. I hope you're gonna do that. You have a great team that works very hard. It's on them to do this job and give more hope. And yeah, find a way to see what is possible to do to have a career here in Brazil. And you have already some legends doing something like that. Find out information, what they did, what was their path for a career, what they did, what are the options now if you compare their path and the new opportunities that exist in the world to have a career as a beatboxing. Write this down, describe it well, and present it to the beatboxers and say, hey look, as a beatboxer here in Brazil you could do this, this and that. we want to help you, we want to do this. We as an organization, it's our job to be the one that delivers or helps you doing that. And then beatboxers know that, yeah, okay, if I whatever want to do in my life, there's also a chance for me to be a beatboxer. But this will never work out alone. We do this always together because we are a family. We are a family. So you meet, you stay friends, and you meet again, stay friends, you level up, and you meet again and again and again all the time. And yeah, this needs to happen. But here, I believe that in Brazil, if you work very hard, there's a good chance for you to be very soon on a world stage. What maybe not right now still is missing is a little bit the influence from outside. You just watch videos. It's time that more beatboxers come here, so you can get exchange, because there's some crazy beatboxers out there. When you see them live, you will be like, all right, now I understand what's going on. And same for you. It's time for you to go out as well to the world. And I know it's not that hard. I mean, Argentina, Chile, very nice countries, they're very close and they are very nice communities. They want to meet you guys, so only that will level you up so much. It's gonna be so nice for you, and I wish this to every beatboxer in Brazil. If you have the chance and if you're curious, then have the discipline to fight for a goal like that and visit other countries, visit other cultures that have bigger beatboxing scenes. It's gonna give you a wonderful feeling of happiness. Believe me, it's love, our family. And I feel it here. Try to get this outside perspective a little bit more into you, and I'm sure in a couple of years you're gonna be very, very ready to do some crazy things. Yo, are you curious to find out more about the beatboxing scene here in Brazil? Check out beatboxnacional.br. Okay. Salve, Beatbox Nacional.
I love you, man. Cara. Você é sangue bom. Can I watch it?
Nice, yeah.